Welcome in, everybody, to another season of Josh's NFC West breakdowns. I am so happy to see you all here. You know, last season we took a really close look at the Los Angeles Rams and some of the things they were doing. They had that great playoff victory against the Vikings, and then they came within just a hair of beating the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. And we looked at both of those games on this channel. Well, this year the Rams are going to look to build off of that success. And their defense looked great on Sunday against the Houston Texans, forcing 2 turnovers, 3 sacks, and holding them to just 151 passing yards. We're going to take a look at all of that and more. Plus, Matthew Stafford gets to 60,000 passing yards. Let's get right into the film, because here on this channel, we let the film tell us what we're seeing. We're going to pick things up in the first quarter with the Texans driving. Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula decides to mix things up a little bit. He drops outside linebacker Josiah Stewart into pass coverage and sends Quentin Lake, the safety, on the pass rush. The Texans don't get this blocked up, and Lake is a free rusher. Stroud has to get rid of the football immediately, and Emmanuel Forbes is able to bring him down inbounds, a great open field tackle for a gain of just 1 yard. So on 2nd down and 9, the Texans would try to run the football. But this play is blown up when Jared Verse and Nate Landman are both able to get off their blocks and disrupt the play after just a 2-yard gain. So that brings up a 3rd down and 7, and here the Rams have an opportunity to put a stop to this drive and hold the Texans to a long field goal attempt. And perhaps feeling the pressure from Kobe Turner, CJ Stroud hangs this ball just a little bit to the inside, and Cameron Kinchens is able to come up with a terrific pass breakup. Let's move ahead to the second quarter. The Houston Texans have the ball, and again they're facing a 3rd down and 7, but this time they're all the way up at the 15-yard line. They're threatening here. Chris Shula called a great game, and here he makes another great defensive play call, putting 8 men right up at the line of scrimmage. Now, the tight end and slot receiver obviously have to be covered, so they can't send all 8, but it's not as straightforward as that, and Houston doesn't know who's coming and who's going. Well, they send 6, but that left side of the offensive line seems to be a bit overloaded, and the Texans again don't get it blocked up. CJ Stroud is brought down for the sack. And from this angle, we get a great look at what happened. Ogunbowale has to make a decision on who to block, and he picks the inside rusher Nate Landman, turning loose the speedy Jalen McCollough. The defensive call from Chris Shula pays off, and despite having a couple of opportunities, the Texans only lead by a score of 6-0. And it's at this point in the game that the Rams would really get their offense going. And we can see Matt Stafford winding up to throw this football. He's looking at Puka Nacua, who's got just a little bit of separation. It's tight coverage, but he does have position and a step on the defensive back. And when you have a quarterback like Matt Stafford and a receiver like Puka Nacua, that's all you need. 19-yard gain on the play, and we would see a lot of these big chunk pass plays in this game. And just look at that pocket Stafford has to throw from. Okay, we've reached the 2-minute warning in the second quarter, and the Rams dial up another big one here. On this play, Christian Harris is expecting Kamari Lassiter to rotate over and pick up Nacua. He does, but he's slow to do so, and Nacua blows right by him, and Matt Stafford has already spotted the mistake. After getting stuffed at the goal line on 2nd and goal and 3rd and goal, the Rams decide they're going to go for it on 4th down. And I love this play call by Sean McVay. You know, on the previous 2 plays, they kind of tried to use power to get into the end zone, and they weren't able to get in. On this play, they call for the toss. They let the offensive lineman get out into space, and then they allow Kyren Williams to use his vision to get into the end zone for a touchdown. You can see there's 53 seconds left, and Houston was able to go down and kick a field goal right before the end of the half, making the score 9-7 at halftime. Do you like these videos? This channel might be going away. It is getting harder and harder to put content like this on YouTube. So for that reason, I have decided that these weekly breakdown videos will remain 100% free on our Patreon page for our free members. It doesn't cost anything at all to sign up. And if you decide you want to upgrade your membership later, we have tiers starting as low as $2 a month, and that will get you access to all the bonus materials we have as well. So come on over, sign up, create a free account so you can continue to gain access to these videos every week free of charge. I'll see you guys there. In the 3rd quarter, the Rams offense would pick up right where it left off. For this play, Houston has just 1 safety back deep. With Tutu Atwell heading for the end zone, obviously he has to go with the deepest route. Also notice the running back coming out of the backfield. The linebacker has to drop down and pick him up. Davante Adams takes the space the defense left behind. Not sure why Stafford double clutches here. The ball's a little bit low, but Adams goes down and makes a great catch. The Texans would make an adjustment, putting 2 safeties back deep this time, and the Rams would test them. When Xavier Smith goes deep, C.J. Gardner-Johnson would get all the way turned around trying to prevent the score. This allows Smith to cut to the sideline. And again, take a look in the pocket. Stafford spots this. He's already winding up to throw this football. And it's a huge gain. 36 yards on the play. What do you need to throw the ball deep? Time. Holy smokes, that was beautiful. I could watch that all day. The Rams would keep the hits coming, this time with a running play. They bring 2 tight ends into the formation and a wide receiver lined up very tight to the line as if he's another tight end himself for the handoff to Kyren Williams. And the Texans respond very aggressively to this. And that's a problem for the Texans because this isn't a run. It's a fake to the tight end, Davis Allen. Touchdown, LA. What a drive. And again, from this angle, we get a great look at how the Texans reacted to this play. Up by a score of 14-9 now, the Rams defense would take over and protect the lead. Houston tries to run a play that the Rams just ran, bringing 2 tight ends into the game and faking the handoff, hoping to get a pass deep down the field. Well, the Rams send a pretty big rush here, so both tight ends and the running back stay in to help pass protect. This means there's only 2 receivers in the pattern for Houston, and to make matters worse, it looks like that pressure is going to get home. Now, I would like to see C.J. Stroud step up into the pocket here, although realistically, with only 2 receivers out there, it's unlikely one of them was suddenly just going to uncover. So Stroud tries to go backwards, and Tyler Davis makes him pay. Facing second and forever, Houston dials up a deep shot, and they use a theme similar, again, to something the Rams did a few plays earlier. Rookie receiver Jaden Higgins will pretend to go deep and then cut to the sideline, but notice Rams safety Kobe Durant is in much better position than CJ Gardner-Johnson was. It's going to be a contested catch, and Durant takes the football away from him. Interception. Wow. What a play. Let's move ahead to the fourth quarter. Nothing too fancy here. Stafford sees he has Davante Adams one-on-one heading down the sideline and hits him with the back shoulder fade. Now, I say that, but take a look. Stafford is on the far hash. It's not very often you're going to see a guy from the far hash hit the receiver with a back shoulder fade on a rope 25 yards down the field. Let's move ahead one more time. Okay, the Rams have the ball despite what that graphic says. There's 7 minutes to go and they're looking to put the game away. Kyren Williams comes out of the backfield and that draws the attention of the linebackers, but what's completely inexcusable here is CJ Gardner-Johnson peeking in the backfield, allowing Puka Nacua to blow right by him. And this time it's a 25-yard gain for Nacua.
Bruh.
With only 4 minutes left to go in the game and the Rams threatening to go up multiple scores, Sean McVay makes a really nice play call here. They fake the run to Kyren Williams to the left, and this should open up Colby Parkinson in the middle of the field for a nice little gain. It'll keep moving the chains forward, get him closer to the end zone, and keep the clock running. And Azeez Al-Shaair punches out the football, and after a scramble, it's recovered by the Texans.
Oh no!
Houston would drive all the way down to the 25-yard line with under 2 minutes to play. But here, Chris Shula makes perhaps his best defensive play call by doing a little bit less. He only sends a 4-man rush, and this accomplishes several things. For one thing, it's harder for the Texans to take a shot to the end zone or a shot to the sideline or any kind of a deep shot, and it allows the Rams to rally to the football. Fumble, and the Rams recover and win the game. And it's Nate Landman who punched it out. Well, there you have it, folks. What a game by the Los Angeles Rams. And it probably wasn't as close as it looked on the scoreboard. LA was really comfortable in the second half. They would have scored another touchdown if not for that mishap late, and the defense really shut Houston down, shutting them out completely in the second half. Matt Stafford looks great, absolutely good to go for another year, completing 72.4% of his passes for 245 yards, a quarterback rating of 109.1. And that receiving threat, that dual threat of Puka Nacua and Davante Adams, 14 catches, 181 yards between the two of them. That's going to be tough to stop. And how about that defense, forcing 2 turnovers, 3 sacks, and 1 huge forced fumble by Nate Landman. And there you have it. Well, I want to thank you again for joining us for another season of Josh's NFC West Breakdowns. If you donated to the channel last year, I want to take this opportunity to thank you. You guys humble me and you honor me. It really means a lot to me. I can't believe you do it. If you're interested in that, there's links below for that. And of course, I would love to see you come on over to the Patreon page. Like I said, you can do that absolutely 100% free and still get the videos. These videos on YouTube might be going away. As we talked about earlier, it's getting harder and harder to do. So come on over to the Patreon page. All right, the Rams have an interesting road trip coming up. They've got back-to-back road games. The first one, I think they'll do all right at the Tennessee Titans. The second of those two is going to be a rematch of that playoff game in Philadelphia. I cannot wait to see that game. And of course, we're going to break down those games and look at all that film. And you can find it right here on Josh's NFC West Breakdowns. And I will see you guys then.